So the WoW community has one very big problem, and it's streamers, particularly full-time streamers, and it's not that they're set out to ruin your life, it's just a natural side effect of thousands of people watching other people who have the luxury to play World of Warcraft 12 hours a day. Look, you don't need to adopt an extreme sweaty prep routine for TBC Anniversary. Do it if you enjoy it, okay? And if you find grinding oddly therapeutic, but for most people, prepping a million quests to hit level 63, before you even hit Outland in the old world, or farming Nax gear, well, it's a bit pointless. Why spend 2 full days playtime now preparing a massive quest list so you can skip the game, skip Burning Crusade content, and only really be 8 hours ahead of the average player? And why raid Nax every week if you're going to, actually replace that gear with dungeon drops? I mean, I know there's some outlying pieces that are great from vanilla, but most TBC crafted gear, dungeon gear, and even auction house buys will end up better just because of gem sockets. Now guys, if you want to get ahead of everyone and get to level 65 in the open world before you get to Outland, you've got to subscribe to the channel to get my optimal prequest route. You'll see it in the subscriber only video description box, and there's a Google Drive document and it has everything that you need. Now you're probably going to call me a hypocrite, and that's fine. Obviously I'm being a little bit silly here. The reality is, no matter how often I tell people to avoid extreme prep strategies, there'll always be those who want the most absolute ridiculous prequest route, and that's fine. Play the game however the fuck you want to play the game. But today I'm talking about preparing smart and planning for the long game instead of just burning out in week 1, which honestly I think benefits most classic WoW players. We'll get to the bottom of preparing smart for TBC Anniversary just after these very interesting and important messages. Today I'm in northern England, hunting along the stunning white beaches of Blackpool. Today's lucky couple, Abraham Lincoln and Medusa, are freshly newlyweds, looking for their perfect villa with a budget of £250,000, preferably in an area without shootout theatres and reflective surfaces. This is why we thought Blackpool would be the perfect location, as the most dangerous thing to enter a theatre here was a sober audience. Plus, there's also no mirrors here, as nobody from Blackpool can stand to look at themselves in the mirror because they're from Blackpool. So Blackpool was growing on me, but I entered a confrontation with the Blackpool City Council because I thought the donkey rides were a vile violation of the Queen Liberty.
I think the thing I like about Blackpool the most has to be the Pier Fairground, but unfortunately I did turn the ice cream man to stone.
Unfortunately, the young couple have now been banned from Blackpool, so I thought they would prosper better in the virtual world of Heroes of History. In Heroes of History, they can build their own civilization, expand through research and combat, and work together without any local councils getting involved. Abraham can focus on diplomacy and infrastructure, and Medusa, well, she's like thriving in real-time battles and stuff. Guys, the gameplay in this game is so addictive. It's so satisfying getting like a proper squad together and just absolutely smashing the enemy minions in the game. You'll find all of your favourite historical and mythological characters like Albert Einstein and even Hercules. If you'd like to join them on their quest, please click the link in the description or scan the QR code or use the code STARTNOW to immediately unlock a 5-star character in a place much safer than Blackpool. This is what I'm personally going to be doing on the TBC Anniversary launch. We got there in the end. And I've actually already started doing it, even though my character's a very low level, because I've honestly not actually played the game in 10 months. I've already started doing this, and I'm actually making a decent amount of gold, well, for a low level anyway. What we're going to be doing is building basically a big passive income stream. Systems that can make you gold now and keep making you gold for the lifetime of TBC Anniversary with absolutely minimal effort. That way you never have to spend your evenings, farming raid consumes while your family judge you on the sofa. I mean, honestly guys, farming gold, that's for people who have too much time on their hands, okay? Most of the classic audience doesn't have that luxury anymore. You've got 2.5 kids, multiple furry animals eating your furniture, and 40k tuition fee debt, okay? You're not paying off debts, putting food on the table, or saving for that, deposit on a shed that the government calls affordable housing if you're running around Outland mining fell iron. So basically what I'm saying, guys, is You need to stop farming World of Warcraft gold, start selling drugs, and get your children to farm World of Warcraft gold instead. Right, jokes aside, I'm going to teach you how to make gold without farming gold. I am going to teach you the beautiful art form of exploiting rich, stupid fucks who buy gold on third-party websites, and we're going to be doing it by using the auction house, obviously. Elegant, profitable, and morally ambiguous in a way that keeps your hands clean. To be fair, it is a little bit of a vigilante vibe because, you know, if dickheads are going to ruin the economy, you may as well make some gold in the process. Okay, so there's so many ways to flip gold on the auction house through very basic crafts because people are, like I said, too lazy to craft these things themselves, too lazy and too rich. They'll happily buy raw materials instead of crafting them. And it only gets worse in the pre-patch when every numpty on earth Googles a profession leveling guide, buys all the mats in bulk and just calls it a day. So on the screen right now you can see the level requirements for every single profession rank. You only need level 20 to reach 225 in a profession, and that's where the gold really starts rolling in. Sure, higher level alts can make you even more, but level 20 is the magic number to really start crafting the items people are just buying raw to power level their professions. And it's going to be happening a lot in the pre-patch, but it happens throughout the entirety of TBC, to be honest, because people always want to make an alt. Level 20 takes absolutely no time at all, especially with the Rest XP add-on. You know, it's designed by literal world record holding speed levels. If you follow it religiously, you can hit level 20 in 10 to 15 hours. It's free on Curse Client actually up until level 20. If you don't believe me, go out and test it yourself. And if you decide to, you know, get the full version, be sure to use my link in the description. It helps support the channel a lot. You automatically get a really good discount. Oh, and don't forget, there's a good chance that there's going to be a level 58 boost in the pre-patch, which means you have instant access to 2 max professions. And now, here's another fun one. Okay, you only need level 35 to disenchant everything in TBC. Apart from, I think, epics, which you're not going to do anyway. That means we can sell all our unwanted greens by giving them to a disenchanting alt and then selling the mats. You funnel cloth to a tailor alt to make even more greens to disenchant, and then you park that character near a vendor that sells greens for you to disenchant. And once you synergize all this together, you're making a few hundred gold every single day, basically doing sod all. The vendor you want is called Addon, the Blade Merchant in Halar, although that's only the Alliance version. I don't actually know. Look that up. Whatever. Okay, so you basically buy his weapons and then disenchant them and boom, you got a profit. The only catch is this trick only really works when your faction is dominating the server. Since the vendor responds every hour, you need it to be controlled by your faction to actually buy the item. So yeah, it's not going to work when your server's like dominated by the opposite faction. And guys, for the love of God, ignore profession leveling guides, okay? Start flipping while you're leveling your professions. So you're basically leveling your professions for free. You know, whatever you craft can normally be sold on the auction house for profit. Not every craft is profitable, but it will, most of the time, at least come close to making you break even. Grab the add-on Auctionator, okay? Open your profession window with the auction house open, and it'll automatically compare the raw cost, the crafted item pieces, by just clicking that little search button, okay? And then you can see what's profitable and what's not. If you want to get more advanced, you can use Trade Skill Master. Go and watch a video about that. It deserves its own video, really. Personally, I prefer to just keep things simple. My brain can only handle so many spreadsheets before I start questioning my life choices. Now, let's start with the easiest one, the smelting alt. I was actually able to afford my mount when Fresh Classic launched under level 30 because I was just flipping bars, and it meant that I just was buying a lot of gear instead. But anyway, get a character with mining. Everyone needs a character with mining. You buy the raw ore, you smelt it, and you resell it for a profit. That's it. It's easier than convincing a BMW owner to talk about their car. You can't always profit at every time of the day and every day of the week, but most of the time, there will be at least something that will make you a profit, and you'll do just fine. Keep this alt. Have you just shit? Where are you? Oh, you... Hold on. Right, Turd Man is staying on my knee for the remainder of this video so it doesn't interrupt it anymore. We could deal without your poos interrupting my recording. Anyway, so, what was I on about? Yes, keep this alt somewhere that's like really convenient so you can flip between forges and anvils and the auction house, okay? So, for Horde, that's definitely Thunderbluff, it's the best. because it literally is next to the auction house, dude, which is amazing. And for Alliance, fortunately, you're going to have to go to Darnassus, okay? It's not as close, but it's pretty decent, actually. What you want to do is use this little jumping shortcut that I'm going to show in the background footage, if my editor gets it correct. You know, you'll thank me later for that. This is also where you should park your engineering character. So really you want smelting and engineering on the same character to maximize all these juicy gold flips. Engineering has loads of components, right, that people constantly need. It's not just for leveling engineering, but for other professions too. And because, again, people are both lazy and rich, they'll rather just buy them raw than craft them. Or more worry, I've been making steady gold since like level 25, and sometimes it's like 6 gold per profit per stack of blasting powder. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but how long does it take to make a full stack of blasting powder? Like 20 seconds or something? You know, and if you get your engineering higher, that unlocks more parts and more stuff to craft, and, you know, you scale up the amount of gold that you can throw in the auction house. And the more things you have on the auction house, the more it's ticking away, making you a profit every time you keep logging back into the game, while you can be doing something way more productive. Next, we have alchemy. So most stat boosting elixirs make a very easy profit. It's because herbs are just so ridiculously cheap, okay? From low-level potions to the high-level TBC ones, they're always in demand because people want to buy consumes for leveling, they want to buy it for twinking and stuff like that. So keep a couple of stacks listed and, you know, pretty much every single potion that you know is going to make a profit. And there you go, you're making passive gold while you sleep. And once you get your TBC profession specialization, you can occasionally make extra potions from a single craft. So, you know, more potions, more profit, and more smugness. Another classic for flipping gold is tailoring, you know, because of bags and select gear pieces that can make easy money. And you can also craft greens to then, you know, send to disenchanting, or you can have it on the same character, obviously, though that usually takes a little bit more time and starts to feel like farming, which, let's be honest, we are philosophically opposed to. Okay, tailoring alts are also great for the cooldowns, the spell cloth, moon cloth, shadow cloth cooldowns. But everyone already knows that trick. I don't want to talk about it too much in this video because everyone already does that. It's overdone, and it requires traveling around in the game, which again feels suspiciously like effort. So yeah, fuck that. But overall, having a tailoring alt just makes you much more gold because obviously while you're just naturally playing the game, you get loads and loads of cloth, and rather than just selling the stacks of cloth on your auction house, or God forbid, actually vendoring it like some moron. Send it to the tailoring route. You can always make a bit more with bags, and sometimes you can make more by crafting a cheap green that doesn't require a lot of mats and then disenchanting it. So, and again, the auctionator add-on will tell you where, you know, is the maximum profit margins. And to be honest, sometimes I just literally get the pen and paper out and work it out myself because I like doing things old school. Now, the most brain dead foolproof flips are definitely smelting and alchemy, okay? They reliably make you gold because you're crafting stuff, you know, people buy in bulk. You know, gear and bags, people don't buy that in bulk as much because they usually only need a gear piece once for the character, or they only need bags, you know, well, 4 bags all at once, you know, is the maximum. But consumables and bars and engineering parts, to be fair, it's just a constant turnover. Sometimes I literally just sit on my smelting and engineering alt, melting down bars and stuff like that and making parts, and they sell instantly at peak times. I literally, you know, have my alt crafting on my second monitor, like while I'm doing scripts like this and making 20 gold every 10 minutes. Like farming mobs or gathering herbs or something like that, it might earn you more gold per hour, but that requires actual brain power. It requires you to like use the keyboard more, okay? Whereas you can do these gold flips when you're practically AFK. Okay, you can do it in the background while you're doing more important things, like, I don't know, using your VPN to look up Twitch streamers' OnlyFans leaks or whatever the hell you guys do in your free time. Yeah, and sometimes when you do these flips, you know, across multiple different characters at peak hours, you can actually start to turn this into a little bit of a gold farm. We don't like the word gold farming, but if you want to do it as a gold farm, you actually can because, you know, yeah, peak times, things sell so quickly. And again, it really does feel like a passive gold farm. You don't have to kill mobs. You don't have to find stuff in the open world. It's totally simplistic and brain dead. It's amazing, okay? Sometimes I literally list so many items that I actually fully deplete my gold, but then by the next day, my gold is doubled, okay? It feels like insider trading, except morally defensible and without the prison time. If you have the luxury to do this, I'd recommend it. So what I usually do, most people at least have a luxury to log in the morning to do these flips, and then log in, when they get home from work during peak times to get the gold, sell anything that didn't sell, put it back up, and then do some more flips. So you can at least have, most people can at least do it twice a day, but if you have a luxury to do it more per day, you log in the morning, set an alarm for the afternoon, go back in the afternoon, and then peak time in the evening, and then maybe a second time again in the evening. Okay, so 4 times a day you can do this, and by the end of the day, honestly, you're going to be doubling your gold like twice per day. It gets that ridiculous. Another trick is to buy the very popular rating consumes and the materials that are required to craft those consumes in the morning when they are really cheap, and then you, excuse me, don't know where that came from, you resell them at peak raiding time to make another cherry on the cake profit. Guys, this is what I'm going to be prioritizing for my TBC anniversary prep. It's preparing smartly. If you're short on time, don't panic. This is what you should be prioritizing. And then just grab 20 quests from Eastern Plaguelands and Silithus and call it a day. The bare minimum, okay? Because at the end of the day, honestly, it's much better to level through questing when the expansion drops. You'll end up with far more gold by the time you hit max level, obviously, compared to spamming dungeons like some caffeine-addicted hamster. Obviously, questing can be complicated, it can be difficult, okay? But sometimes jumping to Zangamar straight away is the better play. Honestly, when TBC launched last time, there was like 20-odd layers. And to be honest, like the world felt empty and you could complete quests. So I'd always try to level up doing some questing because, again, it's because you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, okay? Sure, dungeon leveling, it feels faster, but it's a false economy, okay? Your hit level 70 broke as hell, okay? Unable to afford your flying mount, which is obviously absolutely essential for the Karazhan achievement chain. Would you seriously stop chewing my pants? These are my good pants, I just bought them. Honestly. That's why I always tell people for these launches, this is what I recommended for the Fresh Classic launch, level smart, not fast. It's not all about rushing, guys. Think long term. Stack your goals together. Gold, quest, rep, professions, all in one efficient, beautifully lazy plan. Because while everyone else is grinding like lunatics, you'll be cruising around, towards Karazhan on your shiny new mount, pockets full of gold, wondering why everyone else looks so tired and why they've got bloodshot eyes and stuff. But anyway, guys, my name is Metagoblin. To my next video. Ciao. Oh, fucking getting cold again. Today I'm in northern England hunting down... What? Hunting down what? I don't... So Blackpool was quite... No. So Blackpool was great. Unfortunately, what's the game called? Fucking... Guys, the gameplay is at... Alright, just cut that. Action.
Sorry. Your stupid fucking hands.
My arms are...